Ashley Robinson, Product Manager for Topaz Labs, and in this tutorial I want to show you more about the Topaz Clean program and also teach you how to easily achieve clean, clear, airbrush-looking skin with Topaz Clean. Topaz Clean is a texture adjustment program that allows you to do several enhancement techniques, including adjusting texture, smoothing features, flattening details, enhancing edges, and creating over-sharpened and stylized effects. Topaz Clean is a quick and easy solution for portraiture enhancements and corrections. You can easily reduce fine lines, wrinkles, and blemishes by using the Clean and Texture tabs to adjust the texture and smoothness, which is ideal for achieving even skin appearance. What makes Topaz Clean unique is that it can also preserve major facial features in tiny but important skin detail. The Clean program offers 3 tabs that you can use to create your desired skin effects. So let's take a look at the included tabs and what they are used for. The Clean tab flattens texture, smooths the image, and removes weaker details. The Edges tab allows you to enhance and stylize the edges in your image. And finally, the Texture tab allows you to reintroduce some of the original texture and detail back into your image to ensure a natural look. The program also includes a convenient Skin Even preset, which works as a great starting point for your skin adjustments. So let's jump into the program. We'll start by bringing our image into Photoshop and then creating a duplicate layer. This will come in handy once we have finished making our adjustments in the program so that we can bring back some additional detail from the original image. Now, before invoking Topaz Clean, we're going to use our Photoshop Quick Selection tool to select just the face of our subject so that all adjustments made in the Clean program will be applied only to the face. Once you've done that, go to Filter, Topaz Labs, and select Clean 3. Once the program opens, go ahead and click the Reset All button. This will clear out the settings used during your last clean session. Now, there are 2 ways that you can do your skin cleaning. First off, Topaz Clean comes with a Skin Even preset that is often great to use as a starting point for your adjustments. So if you go over here to the Presets panel on the left side of the interface, you will see that preset listed here. Go ahead and select it. You will notice that instantly it balances out the texture of your subject's face, giving it a smoother look with less defined wrinkles and crow's feet around the eyes and mouth. If you're happy with the results, then you can go ahead and click OK to save your image back to Photoshop. Or you can go ahead and make some additional adjustments manually using the sliders here on the right side of the screen. So the other way of cleaning up your images is by doing everything manually. This will give you more control over the changes that you make. So let's go ahead and explore this method a little bit more. For our workflow, we will start in the Clean tab and work our way down in the order that the tabs and sliders are listed. So again, I'm going to click the Reset All button to remove the previous adjustments that we applied. Starting in the Clean tab, I'm going to adjust the strength slider. The strength slider is the most important slider in the program because the set value will determine exactly how clean and smooth your image will be. All the other sliders in the program are used to refine and perfect the look. Now, this slider value ranges from 1 to 8. The higher you set it, the smoother your image will get. When working with faces, I would recommend that you keep the strength slider set at about 1 or 2. Anything else will give you a very unnatural look. Next, move on to the threshold slider. This slider determines the size of the features that are affected. A higher value will produce a flatter and more smoother looking image with less depth. And it can also blur image detail, so be sure not to over-apply this parameter. Then we have the radius slider here, which adjusts the radius of the effect applied in pixels. Now that we've finished our adjustments in the Clean tab, let's take a look at what we have so far. Use the Original and Preview tabs up top to compare the original and adjusted image. You can also use the spacebar shortcut key, or just click here on the image to toggle back and forth as well. We can already notice a significant difference in the appearance of the subject's skin. Now that the cleaning is done, let's move on to the Edges. The Edges tab is where you can stylize image detail and edges. The accent slider here controls the degree of edge enhancement in the edges and lines of your image. A higher value will give you more defined edges and lines in your image. Now, if you want to go ahead and create some interesting stylized or curly effects, then you'll want to bump this parameter up to the max. You'll get some pretty cool results. The Radius slider determines the size of the edges and lines being processed. If you want your edges and lines to have a more defined look, then go ahead and increase this value. The Sharpness slider, of course, controls the sharpness of the edges affected. If you want more defined edges, then you can also increase this parameter. Again, use your original and preview or shortcut keys to compare the before and after before moving on to the next tab. The last step in your workflow will be the Texture tab. Here is where we can refine the image by reintroducing original image detail and texture back into the image, giving you a natural and flawless look. But be sure not to over-apply any of the parameters here, or you could end up with a grainy look to your image. To keep a smoother, more airbrushed look, bring back only a small amount of texture into your image. The strength slider here will determine how much of that original texture you want to bring back. I would recommend that you add just a little bit of texture into your image, but again, not too much. The boost slider increases the strength of the smaller details in your image. Essentially, it provides a fine grain type of effect that is applied evenly to your image. Use the size slider to set the size of the detail that is reintroduced. A higher value will give you larger detail. I would recommend a smaller value when working on portraiture. So now that we've made adjustments in each of the tabs, we can look at our final result again. Compare the before and after to see the difference in skin appearance. If you're satisfied with the adjustments, go ahead and click OK to process your image and save it back to Photoshop. Now, you may notice reduced detail and clarity in areas such as the eyes, eyebrows, and mouth. So now I'm going to show you how to quickly revive that detail. This is where our duplicate layer from before comes in handy. Go to your Layers palette and add a layer mask to the processed layer. This will allow you to selectively bring back in details. Then go over to your tool palette and select the brush tool, set your desired brush size, and set the brush color to black. We will then carefully brush over the eyes, eyebrows, lips, and any other details that you want to bring back in from the original image. Be sure to resize your brush as needed. And that's it. You can hide the top layer to see the transition. You can now make any additional color, detail, or creative enhancements to your image. Now, this is just one of the ways that you can incorporate Topaz Clean into your workflow. You can use a variety of settings and degree values to create smoother, less detailed, or more pronounced effects. So now that you know all the functions and features of the program, you can easily enhance skin and any other type of texture in your images. Thanks for watching.